Hi people. So today I was walking near Patriarshie ponds, and then my trip went through the Malaya Bronnaya street. It's a very famous street because it has many expensive real estate here, and also called millennials like to hang out here because it's like a very expensive district, and so it's like very prestigious to hang around here with your girlfriend and stuff like this. So uh, but it's much reconstructed in this week, so I couldn't have seen all the evidence I supposed to see. But in fact, I'll show what I found during this walk to you. So this house is pretty interesting because it's located right on the north bank of the pond, and it looks very, very Tartarian to me. I may be mistaken, but it's kind of renovated and still has some windows sticking out. But this renovation here couldn't have helped me to check him out. All I saw here was this ugly way to make some insulation on the wall with this ceramical thing on the wall. So some walls, some windows are even closed with the bricks. So totally a good way to hide the windows. The windows is a very big problem, in fact, because all this water comes down, so it's no use to make them like this. I've shown the correct way for creating those basement windows, and those that we see here are not any of that type. Those are just buried windows, which were not designed to be like this when the building was built, and probably this is the old building was often used and was renovated in the main building, and the group of buildings on the side are always younger and not so old as we can say. This gate was closed, so I couldn't have entered inside the yard. I thought I could walk around and check out what's inside, but all I could see is just the small windows sticking out of the ground, and that's it. So let's take another view of in this colonial style building here, and just go further around the pond to see if we can find something. Of course, we saw plenty of windows like this. This is also probably the old basement, old first floors, old second floors of the buried windows or buried houses, now reconstructed into something bigger. And sometimes they look really fancy like this because reconstruction may take a part with the good engineers, and what we can see, the arches are splendidly done, and the building itself is 19th century. So I stepped down to see the view from the pond on that interesting tower on the top of that house. I think it's some type of a device or maybe antenna or something like this. Who knows? Because it's right now maybe it's not working, so we can only guess. And also some swan house on the pond right beneath it. So I went further towards Tverskoy boulevard, and I saw just a plenty of renovated houses, and this one got my attraction because we can clearly see that the door is made through the window. And a little bit further we also see some type of thing like this. But in fact that next door looks more natural because it has like different construction space from the sides, and probably this is the first one of this house is built here. And as we can see, it has buried windows also. Next house to the right doesn't have them, so I wanted to wonder which date will they give to this house, because it looks so different from the start to the end. And also we can see a dome type of thing on the top. So I went to the house and see no date of construction. Very strange, very strange. And the next house right by this one also has some type of buried windows, and it looks really fancy with this wooden door, very huge door. I wonder if it always been like this. Inside it also has an arch and a couple of buried windows on the sides, and two entrances to little shops left and right from the arch. So and it continues with the right wing with the same symmetrical style, huge door and buried windows. The next house doesn't have this type of architectural thing as buried windows, because it's built a little bit later and it's younger than the previous one. But the main house of this group of buildings, as you can see, they are connected with this pathway on the top. So this house to the right is the main house, and it's actually a theater, a building of a theater. And look at it, it has buried windows and it has buried entrance. So they didn't have even an entrance, so they're supposed to dig a little bit on two sides so you can have a pass through. And look what they did to establish the entrance. Very nice, huh? This is the way it goes when you're trying to find a way. And look, this house, look the difference. This one doesn't have any chance of buried windows. And look at this one, also has buried windows, and we can see the church. I wonder if the church has. So I stepped closer to the church to see what's around it. And this house is pretty fancy also on the front, but on the side it looks more modest. So the church, as they say, was built in 16th century, and the tower of the Uspinquan tower was built in 17th century. And we can see the descending level of the ground, it decreasing towards the white building. So it's like maybe 3 to 5 feet difference of where I'm standing and the white building ends. So probably they excavated inside because it was more buried than this one, and this one was just, you know, left like this with the second floor sticking out. And they even have this lowering of level of excavation close to the wall. As you can see, this white parapet close to the wall, it's also a level of excavation below that. And in fact, I've looked around. This place is pretty high in relation to the surrounding areas. So probably this was, some type of the hill area or something like this. So that's why maybe not very much mud stuck here on the top. Or maybe we just, looking at the second floor, which was perfectly excavated to the second floor and no windows sticking out. Who knows? Nobody's letting anyone in this church today, so I couldn't have entered and look around. And so I went to Vozdvizhenka Street. This is close to Arbaz Street, where Arbaz Street starts. And I've been there on the other side of the road. And this building got my attraction because it also has unproportional view. The third floor looks very rebuilt, renovated, upgraded, whatever you call it. The second floor looks original, and the first basement floor looks also buried and upgraded to be a basement floor with those designs. So I think that we're supposed to have a lower buried building, maybe 2 or 3 floors here, because it's also close to Kremlin, and everything that's close to Kremlin has 5 to 6 or even more meters deep from the top of the ground that we see. And also have plenty of closed windows with bricks, which also shows us that the building was renovated a couple more times than we think, and probably all those windows that are closed right now were a big pain in the ass of the previous owners. That's why they did them like this. That's why they closed them. The house nearby also has the same type of problem, and it's pretty much the same. The end of 19th century. It was reconstructed twice, and it was built in the beginning of 19th century. So probably this is another example of reconstruction. Ugly looking door. Next one also has buried windows, and I also always wondered why they put in some this tall, long, unproportional doors. It's just because it was this way. They were so tall, and they just couldn't have thrown it out. So they raised the level and raised the door, cutting it in the window of the third or fourth floor, whatever, so they can mount it here. Very interesting arch here with these crisscross ceilings. The building on the side of the road I'm standing right now also has 2 sides of buried windows, as you can see. In the building close to it. So I figured I should cross the road and feel more of these ceilings of this arch. They're really interesting. Look at it. Just perfectly done with the brick masonry arch ceilings. And the last but not least, the building of the Embassy of Switzerland with those griffins there. Look at them, just perfect. So also buried windows, and the door sticking out of the window, which is completely nonsense to build like this. So probably this is just a reconstruction of the after flood era and stuff like this. So on the other side we also see griffin on the other side of the roof, and very interesting building, very interesting, proves a lot. Just look at this door. It's just very funny to look at it. The level is completely crazy. So thanks a lot for watching, and see you later. Bye.